Se llama. So, so I was just wondering if after you've done with the bridge, is the person gonna try it on the river or um, just show it? Oh, all right, all right, yeah, yeah, all right.
Yes, I can hear you. Stress does not give you gray hair. Stress is pushing you out of your comfort zone. And because we don't like to leave our comfort zone, we fight the body. Okay. So let me see. Let me see. Hopefully my computer will do what I needed to do today. No, not that one. Not that one. Right. Let me show you this real quick. This is not the screen I want to show you, but so mental health, I spoke with them about this last week. It's simply the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you handle challenges. Okay. So your ability to problem solve, your ability to be flexible, um, to reason if a challenge happens, that's strictly all that mental health is. It all has to do with your mind. How do you see the situation? How do you see the problem? And how do you solve it? That's all that mental health is. If your mind is not strong, that's when the situation beats you up. If you have if you can laugh at yourself, so to speak. Most people don't know how to laugh at themselves. But if you're able to laugh at yourself, then you do just fine. So before we get started today, I have a quick question for you. If anyone can play you in your life, if your life was turned into a movie and you wanted a celebrity to play you, who would it be? So they're making a movie about your life. Who do you want to play you? Lionel Richie. Really, David? Shy Jackson. Robin says Shy Jackson. Okay. You want Lionel Richie to play you. You're an old man, David. Anybody else? All right. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Something Boating says he would like to play themselves. Oh, you want the musician to play you, John Tete, okay? Oh, he has the same birthday as you. All right, Robin says Sky looks like her. Is this Shy or Sky? How did she say her name?
Sky.
Sky, okay. Julie, who do you want to play you? What about you, Prince Owusu, with the EBI behind your background? Queen Latifah, really? Okay. Ariana, you would like Queen Latifah to play you. Got it. Okay. Sigma Boy, don't know who that is. Kitty. Julie, who would you like to play you? Prince, I'm waiting for your answer. The people in charity, I haven't heard from you. The screen name. Ariane, if your life was a movie, who do you want to play you? What celebrity do you want to play you in the movie? Oh, who said Kendrick Lamar? Seriously? They're not like us? Really? Okay. No hate. I can respect that. Who said he's a toilet? Robin, what are you saying? Julie, if you can't remember her name, can you share a little bit about this person? Maybe we can figure out who that is. Minister OJ. Oh, Sigma Boy. Okay. Mr. Tony, who would play you in the movie? Tony Stark would play you in the movie. Okay. Anyone else? Oh, okay. I know who that is, Ariane. I didn't know that was his name, but I do remember the movie. Superman. What? Okay, what is why the people who are picking Kendrick Lamar? Why Kendrick Lamar? Viola Davis. Okay. Oh yeah, she's raw. I like her. Prince, why Kendrick Lamar? Who's the Prince? You're frozen. Why Kendrick Lamar? Jackie Chan. Because of the Super Bowl halftime. Okay. Julie, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Miss Lynch is. Chris Tucker. All right. Nanama McBrown. Oh, really? Okay. So no one called Nadia, no one called Jackie Apia, no one called I can't think of any of the other names. The guy that's always playing in the movie with Jackie Apia, no one called any of the Nigerian artists. I was only had one, Nanama McBrown, and I forget the guy's name, the singer. How come all you Ghanaians are all picking American artists? Okay, you like Kendrick. Okay.
I don't really watch that many Ghanaian movies.
No, I'm not talking about you, Julie. Because I know you're here in the States, it would make sense for you to pick the people that you picked. But I'm curious as to why the ones who are actually in Ghana are not picking the artists from Ghana. Besides
Sky Jackson is from Uganda.
She is from Uganda?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that about her. All right. That was just, by the way, something to get us started. So today I'm going to do a quick recap over the past few weeks, what we've been talking about, if I can get my screen to work. So the first week I came in about 3 weeks ago, we talked about death. And we said that the earth is like school. So the whole earth is like school. And we said, so everyone that's on earth is actually in school. You go to school by car, by bus, you walk on foot, you take a bike, or your parents drop you. So death is also a means of traveling. Death is what gets us from the earth, which is school, back home. All right. So that's a recap of the first week. And home for some people would be heaven in Christianity. Home in Islam would be Jannah, if I'm saying that right. And then in Hindu, you have moksha. Okay. Arian, did I say that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. Okay. And then so the assignment that you all gave me for this year was to talk about digital wellness, stress techniques, healthy relationships, and problem solving. So today I'm going to try to combine the last two in one. So real quick, the first week when we did digital wellness, this one actually I didn't pull from my slide. I had to do a parent teacher meeting for my daughter this week for her whole grade. And this is the information that her school counselor is giving to all the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade parents. The children between the ages of 11 and 15, if you got a phone before you turn 16, your ability to socialize, your sleep patterns, your attention to focus is a problem right now. You are addicted to the phone. I can't say that for all of you, but majority of them are addicted to the phone. So the phone is a big issue. So we have to either reduce it or eliminate smartphones or social media for children under the age of 16. Oh, Robin says true. Okay, unless you're talking about something else. All right. So when I did talk to you, I told you to be mindful about your use because of your age group. You all know that you're not supposed to be on the technology no more than 7 hours a day. That includes school and home. Find a way to turn off notification, put focus in where you distance yourself from the device. If you are on the device, make sure that you are using measures, whether you're using a keyboard, not necessarily too much on the laptop because it wears on your shoulders and your back. And the curve of your neck is the backward C and it's heavy. So the more you're like this, you're turning the curve in your neck and it's shifting it forward. Eventually, it's going to weigh too much and you're going to shift your whole head forward. So you need to be mindful of that. Also, put for every hour that you are on the device, you need to make sure that you're taking about a 10 to 15-minute break away from it. Put the device away an hour before you go to bed. And as I told you, invest in the blue eye blocking glasses because the light from the screen does impact your sensitivity and it messes with your sleep hormones the longer that you're on it. So those were just some few things we talked about when we talked about digital wellness. Um, then we talked about stress. You are aware that in your body it's going to look like headache, frequent infections if you're sick a lot, muscle twitches or muscle tension, always tired. Um, in your mind, you're constantly worried, anxiety, impaired judgment, your decision making is horrible, and you're always in negative land. Everything is negative, majority of the time anyway. Prone to panic attacks, insomnia, your sleep patterns are messed up, your thoughts, you have negative, you don't think straight, basically. It's what I want to say with the bad thoughts. You're always irritable or angry, and your emotions are all over the place. Um, See, so some of the things that they're actually calling it out with the emotions, depression, you're always down or you're down a lot. Your self confidence is not good. You're always fussy. Your behavior, on the other hand, some of them are not eating. So depression is going across from emotions into the behavior where it's manifesting in isolation and shutting down. Whereas some of the students right now are thinking of self-harming as a way of dealing with what is going on with them, whether it's using substance, drugs, alcohol, or cutting. Okay. So we told you it's very simple exercise, being active every day, finding something to do, whether it's walking around, getting some fresh air, your diet, how you eat. Don't do too much junk food. Pay attention to the dyes in the food, the red 40, the blue and the yellow. Read the labels of what you're eating and be mindful of it. If there's too much, if you're eating too much of those dye related foods, it does impact you. It does impact your ability to think. Sleep is important. I told you all the sleep is equivalent to the gas in your car. The more gas you have, the further you can go. The less gas you have, you can't go very far. If you're not getting enough sleep, your body is not functioning at optimum level. Your time management, your ability to do what's needed for school, do what is required of you at home, and still have time for yourself, your friends, and what you want to do. Reducing the noise level. Noise is not necessarily a loud music. Noise is not necessarily a loud movie. Noise could be the things that you're hearing from your friends. Noise could be the stressors at home if there isn't enough money, if the parents are arguing a lot, if there's divorce going on. All those things are equivalent to noise. It's not necessarily being a loud voice. Okay, so those are some things you have to be mindful of and work on limiting those things to help you better manage stress. All right, So real quick, you can put them in the chat and I'll try to read them out. For the first question, when you feel stressed, what do you like to do? What are some things that you do when you're feeling stressed? Girls do stress more than boys. Yes, we did see that last week, where because of the appearances and what's trending in social media, girls worry a lot more so than boys. So what do you all do when you're feeling stressed? What do you like to do? I know music would be big. Stare into nothingness. Okay.
Sleep.
What did you say?
Sleep.
Sleep. Okay. So sleeping, playing with my sister, isolating, talking to my mom to digest the topic or try to stop it. I like that, Robin. Resting. Okay. What about when you're feeling sad or you're worried about something? Who do you think it's important to talk to? Or who would be the important people in your life that you can talk to when you're worried about something very important? A trusted adult, okay? Not everyone has a trusted adult. Some people may have siblings, some people may not have siblings. Some people may do a best friend if they feel the best friend understands them more. All right, Princess, he talks to his mom. When I feel sad, I like to take a few minutes to breathe, regenerate, and then try to figure out the real reason why I'm sad. Okay, I like that. That means she's trying to solve this on her own. Okay. What about when you're not able to figure it out? Talk to my mom, parent or sibling. Okay. I isolate and listen to music. All right. Okay. So those are all good. What would be one way to keep your mind healthy? What is one way to keep your mind healthy? Your mind is the most, I could say, I don't know if I want to say the most important part. Reading, great. Reading is a good way to keep your mind healthy. David said, do breath work, do deep breathing. Okay. Feed my mind with positive information. All right. What would be another way to keep the mind healthy? Word games, absolutely. My peers, okay. Rest is important. A good diet, that's also important. Talking to my dad, that absolutely. So those are all ways, especially if the parents sightseeing, if the parents are challenging you to think outside the box, fresh air.
Yeah.
All right.
Your this thing is what?
What was that? Oh, it wasn't me. Ariane says the mind is the most important part. It will almost always prioritize itself above other organs. True. All right. How do you calm stress? Do you take deep breaths and count to 10, or would you rather watch TV for a long time? Don't think about bad things and let negative things get in your head.
TV, usually.
All right. How many people agree with Julie with TV? That to calm stress, you would rather do TV? Swim? No. B? Ariane also said TV. So it seems like, Prince disagrees with the TV. Okay. So it seems like some people are okay with TV and some would rather not do TV. All right. Your favorite mood boosting activity, video games for hours or going for a walk or bike ride? B. Those of you with the thumbs up, I don't know if you're going with A or going with B. Playing video games, okay?
Video games for me too.
Video games, okay. Wow, that's a lot with the video games. Okay. What activity brings you more joy? Being with your friends and doing stuff, that's what A is saying, not just playing soccer, but necessarily staying at home and watching TV. What would bring you more joy?
A.
So doing things with friends would bring you all more joy.
Yeah, like to play video games.
Okay, video games. So not wanting to be alone very often. So you like being with your friends. Interesting. To each his own. All right. So that was the thing with stress. Right now we're dealing with boundaries and problem solving. All right. That's a lot of A's going on there. Boundaries are simply the limits and rules that we set for ourselves in our relationships to protect our feelings and our thoughts. We talked about boundaries last year when I did come on, but I do want you to remember it's a limit, it's a rule that you put in place. And the reason why you put it in place is because you want to protect your feelings and your thoughts. So it's an invisible line that you have around you that you don't allow certain people to come too close. All right. Everyone has that invisible line around them. Your boundaries are based on your values. So, for instance, if family is important to you, then you're doing things majority of the time centered around family. If someone asks you to do something, you're likely not going to do it if you feel like you have to do something to help your mom at home, if you feel like you need to do something for your siblings. So if your sibling have a game, they have a schoolwork or something to do, you're going to do that first before you do anything with your friend. So you set your boundaries based on your values and your beliefs. All right. Your boundaries are yours and yours alone. Many of you may align your boundaries with the people that you're close with. So, for instance, my children will align their boundaries based on their relationship with me and the tools that I'm going to give them. So, if you're not close or have a good relationship with your parents, you're likely not going to buy into the value system that they're trying to give you. You're more so open to wanting to adopt the ones of your friends or whichever one you think it's cooler or whichever one allows you to be free where you don't feel confined. Know your boundaries in every situation. I met a lady a few months ago. She's in her 20s. She's married. And she tells me that even up to this day, she has a code word with her mom. If she goes to a party and she calls her mom and she fakes a stomach ache, her mom knows to come get her. So she'll call and be like, Mom, I'm not feeling too good. My stomach hurts. It doesn't mean that her stomach hurts. It just means that she's not comfortable in the environment that she's in. She needs to get out of there, but she doesn't want to hurt the people's feelings. So she's saying that so she can leave. So then her mom will come to make it look legit. Her mom will actually show up to come get her out of there. So you always need to know the situation that you're going in, your ability to read a room, your ability to read people. If you're able to do those type of things, you're able to avoid a lot of things. The big thing with boundary is you have to find a way to respect everyone's boundary and and also maintain your own. Okay. There are a lot of boundaries, just a lot. But the big ones for your age group are physical, emotional, intellectual, time, material, spiritual, based on your culture and your religion, and sexual. I'm only going to touch on 5 of them today. All right. So you have personal, emotional, mental, material, physical, and spiritual. But the 5 I'm going to touch on, the first one is physical. Physical has to do with space. Who can who can touch you? Who can hug you? Who can come so close to your face that you can smell their breath and you're okay with it? If you don't want certain people that close to you, then you need to know how far to put them. Okay. Porous, you have porous, healthy, and rigid. A porous person is the individual who is remember when I spoke with you last year and I talked to you about the different communicators and I told you about the turtle? That turtle is the people pleaser. They don't say no to anything. They go with what everyone is saying. That's the porous boundary. So you literally allow anyone to say anything to you. You take what everybody else is saying as fact. You're not able to think for yourself. And so for a person with that physical boundary, they allow anything. A healthy person, a healthy boundary for physical, on the other hand, you're putting measures in place. No, stay there. That's as far as you can come. You've come too close. This is where you can go. My children can come this close. My friends need to be like six feet away. My family my mom and my sisters are 6 feet away. My friends are like 12 feet away. My neighbors are like maybe 24 feet away. So you're putting boundaries and stuff in place. This is as close as you could come, and that's it. No, don't touch me. I can hug you, but I can't hug that person. That's the physical boundary. The rigid one, that person is more so like, this is it. It's black or white. A rigid person, the best way I can explain a rigid person is black or white. There's no gray areas. They're completely inflexible with everything. Emotional, on the other hand, when we talk about boundaries, your ability to share. What can you share with who? Can you, so the best way for me to explain emotional is, who can see you naked? Who can see you crying and you're okay with it? So if there are certain people who can see you, then those people you share certain things with. You share specific things with. The people that you don't want to know certain things, you put them in a specific category. So a person who's a people pleaser with the emotional boundary, they don't know, they tell everyone their business. Everyone knows everything that's going on with them. That's not good. The rigid person too, on the other hand, because they're so inflexible, is more so of family is family, work is work, and home is home. So even if there is something going on at work that family can help with, family doesn't find out about it because they've put that strict rules in place, and that's not really helping. You have to find a way to be flexible. So the healthy person knows how to be flexible and move around, not stuck in, because it's work and you didn't finish, it doesn't mean home can't help and stuff like that. Intellectual, craving into others' views or never having a view of your own. Your ability to think for yourself has to do with intellectual. I told someone earlier this week that for this generation is very much knowledgeable because you're very quick. Yes, turtle passive people or people pleasers. Thank you, Hadassah. The turtle, blah. I lost my train of thought. Intellectual, this generation has a wealth of knowledge because you're quick to research, you're quick to go on Google and ask a question, you're quick to get information. You have a lot of information at your fingertip, but you lack the understanding of the information that you're reading. To give you a quick example, earlier this week, one of my fourth graders asked me a question, and the question was, how old is he going to be when death comes for him? And I said, why are you asking that? Well, to give you a background story, this individual's lost a relative last year, and they weren't ready to process what was happening with them. So now they're scared and shocked and afraid of death. And so when I asked him, well, where are you getting your information from? He said, I went on Google and I typed in, what are the common things that kill people? What are the common things that people die from? People die from accidents. People die from heart attacks. people die from medical reasons, old age. So, and then people just die randomly. So he wants to know when it's death coming for him. And he researched this stuff because he wants to avoid them so he can live longer. So these are the answers that he's given me based on what he saw, and he does not understand what he sees. So because you're exposed to so much, it's important that you have someone, like someone said earlier, trusted adult that you're talking to that's going to help you better process the information that you're getting. That way you're not scaring yourself or putting yourself in a situation that you don't need to be in. So intellectual boundary, the issue is you have the information, but you don't understand the information and you don't know what to do with the information. I spoke to my mom earlier this week about Ghana, and I was asking mom, what is the issue with the students that took the exam? Like, what is really going on? How did she explain it? Well, they like apport too much. They're always trying to find out, do you have the exam, so that we can copy it and whatnot. So what happened with the exam that was taken last year? An investigation was launched because someone made a report. So those who have not gotten their results yet is because they're still doing an investigation about the report that was made. And if the investigation comes out that the report is true, then all those grades or all those tests are going to be canceled and scratched out, and they have to retake it. You see what's happening? You don't have all the information. You just heard from one thing, and so you're thinking something else. So the intellectual boundary, it's not just simply going on and reading. You need to do some more work and make sure you're talking to the right people to get the information that you need, and respecting all views outside of what you're hearing. Intellectual boundary means you respect the gangbanger. You respect the person who's dealing drugs. You respect that prostitute. You respect that person who's on drugs. You don't judge it. You don't speak bad about it, whether they're in church or not in church. You don't go preaching God to them just because you think that you know a few things. It means that when you see someone who's homeless, who doesn't have it, whether you think they're mad because they have some type of clothing on, you find a way to respect them based on what you see, because at any given point, you can switch places with them. They can be you and you can be them. So you never, ever disrespect anyone at any given point, regardless of what situation they're in and where you find yourself. All right? The other one has to do with material. Material has to do with, so you all are really, really big on clothes and fashion and hair and technology. Who has the cool stuff? Who has the things that's trending? All right. So, Arian, what's the question? All right, go ahead. Can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
All right. What about opinions that are like just straight up harmful? Like if someone's like a neo-Nazi or something.
Well, you can't you have to respect the opinion. So it's their opinion. It's not true though. So why are you using that opinion as a fact about yourself?
What? No, I'm saying like what I don't really know if we should be. I obviously like other things that are like more minor. I can respect those, but I don't think I can respect something like person who hates a specific race of people.
A person who hates a specific race of people. You
Yeah.
have to find a way to respect it simply because that's them. So for instance, let me put it this way. When I first came to this country, I heard a lot of people or talk about black white type situation where they're racist, they're this, they're that. and I can understand where they're coming from, but it doesn't mean that I have to buy into what they're saying. Okay, I understand this is their feeling about it. I understand that this is what they've been taught. I can understand and sympathize with it, but it doesn't mean that I have to become what they're doing or buy into it. So you may not like what that person is saying. You may not like the fact that it sounds to you like they hate a specific race. They may be saying that they hate the race, but you still have to find a way. You can agree to disagree and keep moving and not get emotionally attached to it. The minute you become emotionally attached to it, they've got you. What is your religion stuff teach you about the self?
Well, yeah, there's the respect everyone, but I, yeah, I guess so.
It's even okay that you feel this way, and it's also okay that you don't want to respect it in this time with your current age. The older you get, the more understanding you get about life, it will begin to make sense and sink in for you. For right now, the place that you're in, that's okay not to want to respect it. But the key is don't do anything crazy.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Material boundaries. So can I take your shirt without asking you? Can I go in your closet? Can I take your phone? Can I take your food? Can I put my hand in your food and take it without asking you? Can I take your clothes and borrow it, make it dirty and not bring it back, or just give it to you dirty? And Robin says, no way. So these are the boundaries that you're setting in place. Who can borrow your stuff? Who cannot borrow your stuff? Do you have to have all the coolest new things that are coming out? Why do you think you need them? What does that mean for you? You have to find a way to be flexible. If the parents say, no, you can't have that one, but you can have that one though, you have to pick and choose. That's where the healthy part is. But if you're so rigid about it that no, you have to have it and you're having a meltdown, that's not healthy. Okay? Who will beat them up? Time boundary, your ability to time manage. Schoolwork's done, home is done, time with your friends is done. You're not on the device 24/7 where you're lacking sleep and you're dragging. So time boundary is very simple. Do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. All right, be proactive. First things first, get them down and get it moving. It's easier for you. You don't have to listen to your teachers hounding you about missing schoolwork. Your parents are not on you about, well, what are you doing with yourself? You're old enough. Why can't you get it together? No, you got chores. How come the laundry isn't done? Why haven't you swept? Why haven't you cleaned the room? Just get it done. It's helping you down the road manage your own. It's really a practice for you if you're going to be a business owner down the line. How are you going to manage your employees? How are you going to handle the business? How are you going to handle the customers? So all these things that you're doing right now, it sounds like it's nothing, or the parents are just doing it to be a pain in the butt. But at the end of the day, what they're doing is going to help you down the line with whatever you're going to do. The interactions that you're having with the teachers and everything is going to help you prepare how to deal with other people when you get older or when you're in the workforce. How do you deal with someone who is rigid and inflexible? How do you deal with somebody who's a people pleaser? How do you deal with someone who's an aggressive communicator and they're always on the attack? Everything that comes out, they mean to hurt you, and that's how they deal with it. How do you deal with someone who is a passive aggressive? So they're indirect with their hits and they say it, and you have to think about it and figure out, well, what did this person just say to me? How do you deal with all those people? The interactions that you're having right now, it's preparing you for how to handle those situations down the line. What are the signs of a healthy relationship? What do you think the signs of a healthy relationship would be? Based on your understanding of what you think a healthy relationship is for your age, what do you think? Robin, what's up? Robin, unmute yourself. Oh, you forgot what you were gonna say? What are the signs of a healthy relationship, David? David Norte, what are the signs of a healthy relationship? Don't type it. Unmute yourself. Honesty, trust, respect. Okay.
You said healthy relationship.
Healthy relationship. What would be the sign of a healthy relationship? Kindness.
Probably.
Before you ask us, open communication, faithfulness. David, give me something that would tell you that this person has a healthy relationship.
Probably try to be patient with you.
What is it?
Try to be patient with you.
Oh, patience. All right. Absolutely. No one is cheating. Or why do you always think relationship has to deal with couples? It's not just couple, your friendships, your relationship with your mother, with your father, your relationship with your grandparents, with your teachers. Those are our relationships. Being tolerant, gentleness. It's not just a couple. Loving, gentleness, being nice. Okay. What else? Being open, truthfulness. You remember last week when I spoke to you about when I first came into this country and the incident that happened to me at the high school when the girls made the report about me to the guidance counselor and I had to be called into the office. What do you think I turned into when that happened? Do you think I was able to maintain a healthy relationship at that point? Do you think I became rigid at that point? Or do you think I became a people pleaser? What's the nope?
Rigid.
Who said rigid? Lena has her hand raised. You can unmute yourself and say what you need to say. All three are possible, okay? Arian, can you expand on why all three would be possible?
So let's start with rigid, right? If you were to get called in, right, you probably wouldn't trust other people for a while after that. So you'd keep to yourself, you would stay like in your area. You wouldn't try to make friends or whatever. Porous is also possible because after that, you might want to have other people see you in a good light. So so you try to like suck up to other people. But you can also have healthy boundaries after that. You see that not all people are possible to please. So instead, you try to set good boundaries for yourself.
Okay. So to be very honest with you, I became very rigid. Don't touch me, don't come around me, don't come in my space. And it wasn't until I actually became a mother that I had to work on developing a healthier relationship with people because I didn't want to be seen as a lesbian or gay. So I didn't know what that was, first of all. So the fact that that was the thought that they had when I was 14 was confusing for me. So don't touch me. The fact that I'm in a different country and they also don't understand and they're always saying, oh, you have an accent. You walk in the classroom, the minute they know you're a foreigner, the question they ask is, oh my God, do you know Tarzan? I'm like, what is Tarzan? You know the guy in the forest with the monkeys and stuff? Do you speak eight? So if you're getting these type of questions, you're like, man, what are the thoughts that they have? Where did you learn how to speak English? Do they teach how to speak English in Africa? So you begin to distance yourself from people because you asking yourself, what is the opinion that they have of people? What do they think of you? So yes, I did become rigid at that point. I had to work on developing a healthier relationship. All right, Hadassah and Zoe, mute yourself. I want to talk to you about alter ego. Alter ego is something that some people also put in place to protect. Hadassah, mute yourself. Alter ego is something that people put in place to protect their it's a boundary people put in place to protect themselves. So in somebody would say you have a split personality, or there's two of you. But in essence, I want to show you an example of someone who has an alter ego. So you all know who Beyonce is. Beyonce has an alter ego, and her alter ego is called Sasha Fierce.
Like when you're getting ready to go on stage and perform, does Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you. Then Sasha Fierce appears, and my posture and the way I speak and everything is different.
Oh, Sasha's coming out.
No, she's not. She doesn't do interviews. She only performs.
Oh, she doesn't do interviews?
No.
No, you leave her home for that.
Yes.
But no, is it like a process that happens too? Like you were talking about the high heels, like once the lashes go on and the makeup and all that stuff.
It's kind of like when I do a movie, becoming the character. Once you put on the wig and once you put on the clothes, you walk different.
Yeah.
It's kind of this character that I've created over the years.
And how is Sasha Fierce different than I am?
Well, I know, definitely wearing that bodysuit. I could never walk out here and do that.
So you see, she created this alter ego for her to do the things that you see her do on stage. But when you see the stuff on stage, you think that's the real person. This is what she really is like. But the real person is actually very mellow, very shy, very into herself, very private. So sometimes some of the things that you're seeing in the social media, some of the things that you're seeing online and stuff, it's not the truth of the matter, which is why you need someone who will help you decipher what you're seeing. That way you're not taking it in as facts. Ariane, you have a question?
Well, less of a question, more of a comment, but I've noticed that a lot of performers or like comedians or whatever will have this kind of personality where they'll have like a stage personality, like very outgoing, extroverted, but their selves will be like introverted and quiet.
Yes, that is very true. There are a lot of research people I've read on that their outside personality on TV is very outgoing, very loud, but in the background, that true self is very depressed. So they put on a face, they come in and they do stuff, and you think this person is really like this, and then later on you hear this person is dead, they killed themselves, they did this to themselves. You don't realize that what you're seeing is a boundary or a face. So remember that imaginary circle I showed you earlier on that I said we all have one? Sasha Fierce is her imaginary circle around her when she's performing. So the person that you're seeing doing all the dance with all the costumes and the dressing that you're seeing, all that stuff, it's not the real person. That's the character that she's playing. So there are different ways to look at boundaries. I know some kids that say when they think of themselves as there's somebody else, they're able to do some things that they would otherwise not do. So you have these desires, you have these thoughts, there are things you want to do, but you feel like if you did them, people will look at you differently. If you went ahead and did it, you'll be thought of as there is something wrong with you. So what do? You be like, oh, that's not me. That's like my twin, or that's my other side. That side of me is crazy. So if the other side of you is crazy and it allows you to try those things out, you're more likely to do that. And so the more people accept and embrace that side, the more you're going to try and do things like that. David, what are you doing on Roblox?
It's Sean.
What did you say?
It's Sean, not me.
Sean, what are you doing on Roblox?
I'm on the website seeing him.
We all have a boundary range. So if you are in the center, so if Beyonce is in the center, the next circle is Sasha Fierce. So Sasha Fierce is a true person that's in the center. And then we are on the outside. We're going to see Sasha Fierce first, but her children and her husband and her mom will see the true Beyonce on the center. That's one way to look at your boundary range. The other way to look at the boundary range is if I'm in the center, my next circle up, who are the people that can come so close to me that I can smell their breath? All right, that's your 6 feet. The next one, your circle, the inner circle. Who are the next people that can come there? They can come that close, but not as close as the ones that are in your face. Then you have your middle circle, the outer circle, and it keeps going. So the best way to look at this is if you're yourself in the middle, your intimate relationships, some of you, those are your siblings or your best friends. Then your family will come. Sometimes too, it's self, friends, intimate relationships, then family. Family can move from the blue to red, depending on how close or how you feel about your family. The crazy thing with the boundary ranges is if, let's say, I'm in the orange, all right? And my husband is right there in the blue with me, but I'm upset at him. I can move him all the way to the green or the yellow and put that much distance between him and I. But the minute him and I talk and we're doing good, he can come back into the blue or even as far as the orange again. If my children do something I'm not happy with and I'm very disappointed, at any given point, they can move from orange to red, yellow, or even green. But once we get that understanding again, you can move your way back. And it's the same way. If my daughter is upset, so my daughter says to me one day, you know, mommy, sometimes you make me so mad. I say, I curse you in my head. And I'm like, dang, you curse me in your head? Seriously? Like that? And so now I joke about it, but I understand that she's trying to express herself, but she doesn't want to hurt my feelings. And that was the best way that she can deal with it. So right now I'm finding different ways for her to get what she needs to say to me without her feeling like she needs to hide it and keep the stuff inside her. Because I'm doing psychology, I know that if she keeps these things inside of her, it can turn into a disease that will later on cause more harm to her than good. So these are some things that I'm working on with her at home to make sure that she's expressing well. So at any given point, determine on who you're dealing with. They can go from any circle or any color, from inner to outer or from outer to inner. So you need to be careful about how people are shifting to make sure that people stay where you need them to stay. All right. So I decided to use friendship for this healthy explanation simply because I know I have a lot of elementary school kids in here. So handshakes, you can talk about jokes, working together, taking turns, learning how to share. Some kids don't know how to share still. Supporting each other when needed, being kind, giving compliments. You know, it's weird. There are some circles where another girl can tell another girl, oh, you look pretty. That's a nice outfit. And that's cute. And it will mean nothing. Then another circles when you would do that and they'll think, man, why are you telling another girl that she's cute? What do you like? Into her? Do you like her or something? So it's weird. You have to know who you're talking to and the person that you're dealing with before you can say something. All right. So giving compliments, having fun together, treating each other with respect.
Sean, you need to mute yourself, please.
Listening to each other, caring about one another, genuinely caring about one another, not because they're doing something for you, or not because you want something from them. So what do you think the unhealthy side of this will look like? Unhealthy side of this, what would it look like? Whomever has their hand raised, you can go ahead and talk. Hatred, okay. Arguing.
Unsupportive.
Being rude, mean to one another, okay. Upset, throwing fits all the time. You know, when you have the friend that because you decide that this sweater you just got it, you don't want to share it, or your mom just got you this food and you want to enjoy it, you don't want to give them any, they get upset and they go, we're not friends anymore. You can't be my friend anymore. Thank you. We can be being rigid, aggressive, anger, hostile. Oh, David said being a Karen. David, what do you mean by being a Karen? Not everyone understands what being a Karen is.
What I mean by being a Karen is like always complaining and like crying about stuff.
Okay, so we have some friends who are always doing that too. If I have a friend that's always complaining and always arguing about stuff, we're not gonna stay friends very long. I can't do that too long. Overly dramatic, depressed, we're always fighting. I can't do that. I like to have fun. I want to have fun everywhere I'm at and everything I'm doing. So if you're not about that and you always want to bring people down, I got to move you further out my circle. Maybe I need to put you all the way out in the red. A friend that will pretend to be your friend today and will be there tomorrow and is talking behind your back. Thank you, Robin. You have given us the passive-aggressive friend who is being a fox. Tension, not being kind. Being a black tornado from Spoke. Wow, Hadassah, I see what you did there. Okay, thank you. Exchanging of words. So you do know what an unhealthy friend will be like. Not being supportive. And sometimes we have unhealthy relationships with our parents. All right. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe you said that. The parents from Spellbound. Sometimes we have unhealthy relationship with the parents. What does that mean? There are two generations. All right. Actually, this happened yesterday. I have a student whose parents said some inappropriate stuff to them. And because it's so inappropriate, and because I have elementary school kids on here, I'm not able to give you exactly what the parents said. And so in the meeting, the parent is from East Africa. Is he East Africa? Yes. I believe the parent is from East Africa. The parent's culture and the way of doing things is different from the way the child is being raised here and what the child is exposed to. So, and because it's just them, there's no other family member here. There are times when it's mother-daughter. There are times when it's mother-friend. There are times when it's mother-sister. And there are times when it's mother-best friend. Now, those lines are blurred. So sometimes mom is saying something. The child is always the child. But some things she's saying are things that she should be saying to her best friend, are things that she should be saying to her sister, are things that she should be saying to her friend, and not things she should be saying to her daughter. So when the daughter hears those things, it becomes confusing and she looks to her mom differently, like, did you just say that to me? And what am I supposed to do with that? So the lines are very, very much blurred. And then they start arguing and fighting. So that's a very unhealthy thing right there. So they have to work on that. They have to work on defining the boundaries and putting some things in place. Let's see, what else we have on here? So as you said, a healthy relationship, you're able to compromise, which means you're flexible. We can agree to disagree. You have your friends, I have my. Just because we're friends doesn't mean you can't have other friends. You can have other friends. I can have other friends. Sometimes we can play together. Sometimes we can do our own thing, and that's okay. We can be supportive of each other. You can like soccer, I can like American football, and that's okay. You don't have to be upset at me just because I like the Eagles and you like the Chiefs. No, we can laugh, we can joke, and just keep it moving. We can compliment one another and not be upset about it. Being reliable. I can respect your privacy, you can respect mine. You can have your own things. I don't take them unless I've talked to you about it or I've asked you about it. I can encourage you. Never should I make you feel like you're smaller than me, and never should you make me feel like I'm smaller than you. On the flip side, on the other hand, so as you're having these interactions with your friends, with your teachers, you also have those same interactions at home with your parents. All right. So it's the same thing. Respect their boundaries. They're going to, as a matter of fact, they're teaching you about boundaries and what you need to put in place. If you're not able to trust your parents, you need to start working on that. Let's find a way. Sometimes you may, sometimes you may not. You may just have to accept that this is who they are and learn how to move and do the best you can for yourself. Isolating, criticizing, being scared, manipulative, controlling, being obsessive behaviors. I have a kid in the sixth grade who's struggling with friendship right now because all they know is social media, gaming. And so her social skills is not there. And so she has one friend. Now the friend wants to have other friends. She doesn't know how to handle that. And so she's having a really hard time, meltdown. Earlier on this week too, I heard 18-year-old. All right, so let me give you a background of this, right? Something happened to the mother. The mother was abused. And because the mother was abused, when the mother had kids, the mother decided to homeschool the kids because she didn't want anything that happened to her to happen to the kid. Now, because the kid is being homeschooled, mom is working, she's not really present, helping the way that she could. That child is right now 18, but they can't read and write. Is it the mother's fault or is it the child's fault that he can read and write?
It's the mother's fault.
Why?
Because even though she had to experience that, the child's the one who eventually bears the consequences of her actions by making the child homeschooled. So even though she did have good intentions, she did still make it so that the child couldn't read or write.
Okay. Hadassah, why do you say it's the mom's fault?
Because it eventually creates a cause and effect. Because even though she's trying to do something good for the child by keeping the child out of danger, she's also eventually hurting the child because the child's now 18 and still can't read and write.
All right. The person from the Aguna team that said the mom. Why did you say the mom? Who's Fauzi that said both? Can you touch on that? Yeah, no. So let me make this very simple for you. It is the mother's fault. Why is it the mother's fault? You all are children. That's a child. You don't have the understanding of life just yet. You don't have the full grasp of what's going on with life or what the expectation is. And so it is the mother's job to make sure that everything that you need to succeed is given to you. So once we give those things to you, we need to make sure that you get it in the best way that we can, which is why parents are making sure that we get you tutors, We're making sure that you can understand what you're reading. We're making sure that you're in school when you're supposed to be in school, the tuition is paid, that you have food and you have shelter. So if we're doing everything that we can for you, you should be able to get some basics, at least be able to read and write and do some math. That way you can hold a conversation with someone. Because at the end of the day, if the parent is not here, how is the child going to survive?
They would have to figure it on their own.
How? David, let's assume your mother and your dad are not there right now. What are you going to do?
I'll be panicking, confused.
Okay, so this is the state this child is going to be in. Last year I shared, so there's one thing that I keep in my head that helps me do anything that I do for any of my children, whether it's at school, whether it's at home or at church. And it's this: when I had my first child, my mom told me a story, and the story was that there was a lady. She had a son, and the son likes playing with sticks as a toddler. And each time he would play with the sticks, he would get, when she took it away from him, he would cry. And so because of how much he cried and how sad he felt, she decided not to take the stick away from him anymore. One day when the child was playing, he stabbed himself around the eye and it messed up his eye, and so he became cross-eyed. But the mom still loved the child because that's her baby. The child got older, but in school, elementary school, this child was teased. In middle school, the teasing got worse. And then in high school, it really went really, really bad. One day he couldn't take it anymore, so he went and asked his mom, "What happened to my eye?" And the mom said, "Well, when you were a kid, each time I took the stick from you, you would cry." And so the child was like, "Wait, so because of crying, you allowed me to hold the stick and play with it and hurt my eye, where right now I'm going through so much socially?" The child ended up suiciding and took his life out. If something that simple, taking the stick away, if he cry and cry and cry, would he die? No. So these are the reasons why sometimes your parents do some of the things that they do for you, or why they push you, or they don't allow you to have certain things. But because you don't fully understand what they're trying to prevent, or the area that they're trying to get you to go to, you fight. You can fight. That's okay. You can have all the reactions that you want. But I have to be consistent because I know what I want for you. So my children know. So if you all don't know, Hadassah's mine. She's my oldest. She knows that she can't have a phone until she is 16 and in high school. And we have talked about it, and she understands why she cannot have a phone. And I'm not changing that rule. Okay? So don't think that whatever I say to you here, I'm not practicing it at home. And just because I'm in this field and I'm teaching this or helping children with it, it doesn't mean that my children are perfect. My children are not perfect. All right. My 3-year-old is a whirlwind. My 3-year-old. My 8-year-old is the one that is quick to fight. Her mouth is very fast and she reads a lot of books. So she has a lot of words. All right. So I'm going through stuff with them, but I'm teaching them how to better manage it, and they're doing a whole lot better with it. So because I know they can do it, you can too. I'm not saying don't fight. You can fight, but do it smart where you don't get in trouble or get it put on your record. All right. We're all bookworms in this house. All right. I love books. All right. In some relationships, healthy relationships seems to form naturally and easily. In other relationships, however, setting healthier boundaries are difficult or is difficult. What challenges have you faced when trying to set a healthy boundary, and how did you overcome it? Anyone? Do you all have healthy relationships? I would assume you all have some type of healthy relationships, whether it's a best friend, a parent, a sibling.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you do it, and how do you maintain it? The person who said my brother, can you share? Ariana, can you share?
Yes. What do you want me to talk about?
So I want you to tell me what challenges you had trying to set that boundary with them and how you overcame it.
Well, it wasn't really a challenge because like I live with him every single day of my life. You know, we argue, we fight, but it always comes from a place of love, you know, because we're siblings, so we're with each other every time, every like second of the day. So it wasn't that hard to build a relationship with him. And like we like live in the same house and we're related. So like, you know, like we have like similarities and stuff like that.
Okay. Anybody else? Robin agrees with you. Anybody else wants to share? Jim has a hand raised. Jim, what's up? Open conversation, Charity says.
When does class end?
When does this class end? Uncle Tony, you want to answer when this class ends? With me, I don't know. 12 o'clock? Okay. 12 o'clock. Hadassah says, my sister, because sometimes we don't get along, we have to talk about it so we don't stay angry at each other. All right. Lena says, open conversations. I don't want to mess this up because I feel like we can't make back into right. Whatever that ends in Y. With the hand raised. The guy with the glasses. The sunglasses on. You have your hand raised, right? Tony, how do you say that word?
Wait, Tony, real quick question. When's break? Because don't we usually have break around 11?
What did he say? It is supposed to be break time, right? I'm trying to breeze through this thing very fast. I actually do have a break for you all. So the person that hand raised, are you going to say what you need to say or do I move on? No? Okay, I did give you a fair chance. Dear man.
Building a healthy relationship is very difficult, but it all deals with time. Maybe you have someone that maybe you want to build a very healthy relationship with, and maybe the person is not cooperating. So you have to humble and have enough time, do it a bit by bit. Don't be giving up. Maybe you may go to the person may exchange words on you. You have to be calm. And when you are able to overcome all those things to build up the healthy relationship, you are going to enjoy it at the last. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, no, I'm not going to do this. I don't know.
Please, I'm Raphael.
All right. So, dear man, last year I gave you stop. This year I'm leaving you with dear man. D, describe the situation without judgment, sticking to facts. E, express your feelings about the situation using I statements. I don't like it when you raise your voice at me. It makes me feel small. Assert yourself, which means say what you need to say clearly. Don't slur, don't rush through it, don't use slangs. Just because you use slangs does not mean that I understand what you're saying. Be clear about what you're saying. Reinforce or reward the other person if they respond well. What does that mean? Thank you, a smile. I hear what you're saying. I appreciate what you're saying. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but it's okay. You can express it. This is a mother response, okay? Be mindful. Keep focus of what you want and what you're saying. Don't get sidetracked. Don't start talking to me about one thing and then jump the gun and go to something else. If you're upset with me about today, stick to today. Don't bring up stuff from 2 years ago or something that happened when you were 5 years ago and you still haven't let go of that yet. Stick to now. Appear confident. So I'm gonna go back to Beyonce, which would mean that Sasha Fierce is much more confident and in your face than the actual person. If you're talking to someone and you're not sure of what you're saying, because communication is 70% body language and 30% verbal, they can tell when you're making it up, when you're sure of what you're saying, and when you're not sure of what you're saying. If your voice doesn't sound confident, they're not taking anything you say seriously. The reason why I love working with children, because I can always count on them to give it to me straight. Miss Rena, I don't like you. I can tell you too, I don't like you today. Miss Rena, you sound funny. And I can tell you too, you also sound funny. What did some kid say to me the other day? Miss Rena, you're mean. And I looked at them and I said, it takes one to know one. You have to be mean to know if I'm being mean. You give it to me straight, I'm gonna give it to you straight. And let's keep it moving. I don't take anything from it. And I know you're a child, you're trying to express. Eventually you will learn, you will get it together. But whatever you're doing, keep it straight. Be confident about it. Even if it's wrong, be confident about it. Negotiate. Be willing to negotiate. This is where the flexibility component come in. Don't be so rigid. Just because it's red doesn't mean that it can't be there can be some orange hints to it. It doesn't mean that there can be some shades of pink in there, or it can be auburn or maroon. There are different shades of red. Just because you see something doesn't mean that I can't see something else. So you need to be flexible. All right. So problem solving, problem thinking, solution. This one is going to be very quick. And this is where your engagement comes in. All right.
Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to use our critical thinking skills to solve some riddles. Critical thinking is a process that helps you use your experience, knowledge, and creativity to solve complex problems. It's like a superpower that anyone can use. You might not know all of these answers, but don't worry, practice makes progress. The most important thing you can do is have fun while you learn. Ready to get started? Let's go.
All right, so you have 10 seconds.
A word I know, 6 letters it contains, remove 1 letter, and 12 remain. What is it?
That's how you cannot answer any of these.
Have you figured it out? The answer is dozens, because it is 6 letters long, and if you remove the S, you get the word dozen, which means 12. That was fun. Let's try another one. Riddle 2. I am an odd number. Take away a letter, and I become even. What number am I? What do you think?
All right, Ariane,
if you
said
came up
7.
with the answer
Anyone
7,
else?
you are right, because 7 is an odd number. And what happens when you take away the letter S from the word 7? You literally get the word even. So cool. Riddle 3. How many months in the year have 28 days? This riddle really tickles the brain. The answer is all of them. You know, because every month of the year has at least 28 days. Math skills are required for this next riddle. So let's get our math brains ready. Riddle 4. Using only addition and 8 eighths, how do you get 1,000? For this one, you might need a scratch paper. Well, what do you think? The correct answer is 888 plus 88 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. We don't know about you, but now we are in the mood for a game of crazy eights. Riddle 5. Where can you find cities, towns, shops, and streets, but no people? This is an interesting one. Think you know the answer? Good
Cemetery.
guess. The answer is a map. That is a fun riddle. You could definitely share with your friends. Riddle 6. What is always in front of you but cannot be seen? Stumped? It is the future. You know, because it is always in front of you but also invisible because it has not happened yet. Clever, right? Riddle 7. What is full of holes but still holds water? When it comes to this answer, sponge is the word. Look at all those holes, and yet it still holds water. Having fun? We have 3 more cool riddles to solve, starting with this one. Riddle 8. What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it? Ooh, another word problem. What do you think the answer is?
Okay.
It is the word short, which literally becomes shorter when you add the letters E and R to the word. Riddle 9. The more of me there is, the less you see. What am I? This is a tricky one. Did you guess darkness? Because that is the answer. Last but not least is riddle number 10. Light as a feather, there is nothing in it, but the most muscular person cannot hold it much more than a minute. Let's see. Whatever the answer is, it is not heavy, filled with nothing, but even the strongest person cannot hold it for much more than a minute. Do you know the answer? That is right. It is breath. Great use of thinking skills, brainiacs. If you had as much...
All right, so critical thinking, you're curious, you're problem solver, data driven, you evaluate things, and you're logistical. All right, that was not hard. So these are things that you actually need to be doing. These are why you do puzzles. These are why you had toys. You have to break them apart, put them back together. Your questioning attitude, open-minded, problem solving. You're always wanting to figure things out. So if you're able to combine the 2 of them, you become strong intellectually. So critical thinking today, I'm going to be giving you a bunch of different things. So this one, I want to know what you see. If you see the dog or the bird, I want you to type it in. You literally have between 5 and 7 seconds. So you need to be quick, all right? If you're not able to speak, just go ahead and type it. That was not hard. This is what I actually need you to do. All right? Nope. So it's going to start playing. All right.
Can I do this one?
All of you can. So just type them in when you get it. So remember now, there are 2 interpretations. The only one is valid. The faster you can do them, like the brain works. 10 seconds. What do you see? Ariane, you see both? Ariane was the only one.
Miss Raina, could you please lower the volume?
Lines and a man.
Very good.
Thank you for finally lowering the volume.
Sorry, I thought I did. I didn't realize that it was on a different end. My bad. Oh wow, you are seeing some interesting stuff. Okay, do you see the two girls with the dog? I know Arian sees it, but do you see the two babies with the dog?
Yeah, at first I saw the skull and then I looked closer and then I saw the kids.
Okay. Okay. All right. Because I'm seeing some crazy answers come through here. So this is critical thinking. Thinking on your feet. Oh. All right. So our last one is this. Last one, I think I did it a little bit differently. So there are illusions in this one. This is the right one. All right. So this one has to do with
Want more horsepower in your head? Well then, here are 9 riddles and brain teasers that'll boost your brain power. Scientists have proven
that better,
riddles
Arian?
help you boost your thinking abilities and improve your attention span. Are you ready to solve some puzzles that flex your brain muscles? Number 1. We'll start with a warm-up. I'll give you 10 seconds to tell which glass has more water in it.
Which one has more water in it? Arian says B.
B.
B. B.
They all look identically full to me. Could it be that easy? The correct answer is glass B. The scissors, paperclip, eraser, and wand are in there for a reason. Compared to the other objects, the paperclip takes up the least amount of space. If you take all the things out of the glasses, you'll see that glass B has
Can
more
you guys
water.
mute yourselves?
Number 2. Now, that's what I call a feast. Can you find all these things in the picture? I feel like 10 seconds won't be enough here, so I'll be generous and give you 20 seconds instead.
Can you spot all those things in the picture? Or do you think you need more time? You found all of them? Or because you know they're there?
Need more time.
You would need more time. Me too.
It
Did you
felt like
manage to find them all? Here's proof they really were there. Those peas were pretty hard to find, don't you think? Number 3. What figure should replace the question mark? You've got 10 seconds to figure it out. So, did you
I
manage
have
to see
8,
the
a
hidden
comb.
pattern in these weird shapes?
It
They're
says
all
figure.
numbers with their mirrored reflections to the left. So the right answer here is a 6 and its backwards twin. Number 4. Can you find a totally symmetrical cross in this picture? You have 10 seconds to read between the lines. Oh, there you go. The cross was right there, hidden among these lines. Number 5. Try not to get hypnotized by this next riddle. One of the spirals here
Which 2 is completely
two separate
separated?
parts. Can you tell which one? You know the
The left or right?
10 seconds on the clock.
Wait, so who's saying Fafa where you at?
Pretty much identical to the left one. Actually consists of 2 separate parts.
Can you mute your thing?
A perfect 4-point star, like the one right here, is hidden among these squares and triangles. Can you find it? Your time starts now.
Can you find a 4-point star?
Wasn't it? The star was right down there all along. Hit the thumbs up if you managed to find it.
Kezia, can
must
you
have
mute
a
yourself?
Really sharp eye. Ow, maybe too sharp. Could you get me a Band-Aid?
Thank you.
Number 7. This picture might just look like a teenage girl.
So when I first did this, I only found 2 of them.
But if you look closely, you'll find 4 pairs of hearts intertwined in each other. Can you find them? I'll give you 10 seconds for this hearty task.
There are 4 hearts that are intertwined. 2 sets of 4.
Found them.
You found them?
Some hearts are forever bound together. That's definitely the case in this picture. There they are. Nothing can tear them apart. Number 8. Time for a little road trip. Can you
Which
tell
direction is the
way
vehicle
bus is
moving?
moving?
Left or right? Ariane says right. What? I don't know which way your right is. Probably opposite mine.
Right.
So if you're trying to find the driver or carefully examine the passengers, nice try. But it's way simpler than that. Bus doors are always on the right side. Since you can't see the doors in this picture, the bus must be moving to the left. Number 9. How about we finish this brain workout with some tea? Teapot A can hold 32 cups of tea. How many cups can teapot B contain? Take some time to think about it. There you go.
At least 32.
Julie, that is.
Well, guess
Someone
what?
says 64.
I'm going to give you the answer to this one. Instead, I invite you.
Someone says 64. All right, here's your last one. This one, you're going to be seeing things. So the whole thing I'm doing with critical thinking is challenging your brain skills.
Will test your vision and
So I guess no
personality
break.
type.
That is your break, and then I'm done.
The way humans see and perceive the world has amazed scientists for centuries. For example, a simple object like a red ball looks different to us with the lights on and off and from different angles. The human brain does a good job of interpreting and processing information received by the eyes. Moreover, according to Australian scientists, the way we see things can reveal nuances about our personality. Today, we offer you a set of fun riddles that will let you learn more about yourself and test your vision. Before you learn a bunch about your personality, join Team Brightside and get all the fun updates. It's pretty simple. Just click subscribe and ring the notification bell. 1. How many animals can you see? The first riddle might look like a basic children's puzzle, but nothing is as simple as it seems here. Look closely and count how many animals you see in this picture. It looks like one elephant to me, but maybe you'll have better luck in 10 seconds.
7.
7.
See 7.
Can I say what
8,
animals I
8,
see?
It's 8.
Can I see what animals I see? Oh wait, 9. 10.
Wait, no, 9.
Let's see what we've got here. There's obviously an elephant, a donkey, a dog, a kitty cat, and a mouse. The trickier ones are a tail of a snake, a mosquito, and a tortoise. And now, the top level agents hiding in here are a crocodile,
There's a shark in the
a
crocodile.
dolphin, a fish, right there in the eye, a bird's head, and a prawn. If you found 1 to 3 creatures in the drawing, maybe you simply didn't have enough time, because that's not even half of them, you know? If you ended up with 4 to 6 creatures on your list, you spotted the most obvious ones, but still missed quite a few. Did you manage to see 7 to 9 animals, birds, and insects here? Well, your attention to detail is very good. So close to perfect. It must help you out in life quite a lot. Finally, if you saw 10 to 13 creatures in between the mess, congratulations! You could be an FBI agent, or
I'm
perhaps
just
you
better.
already are. But you probably wouldn't say that in the comments below, so we'll never know, right? Moving on to the next test. 2. What do you see first? Look at this beautiful drawing right here. Nice to have
A monkey.
isn't it? We won't make you spot objects here. Just answer one simple question. What do you see first? I'm not giving you any time to think it over. Just go with the first idea you get. If this drawing is a gorilla to you, it characterizes you as an independent person who values personal space and me time. Teamwork and asking others for advice can be helpful too. But as long as you're comfortable being the only decision maker in your life, keep it that way. If you see a tiger here, you're a risk taker. Nothing is impossible if you have something in
Where's the
mind,
tiger?
and you can find practical solutions to nearly any problem.
I don't know, but there's the head of a panther. If you look.
3.
Oh, whatever.
What do you see first? Another what do you see first riddle. Again, just go with your first impression.
I see like hands with like long nails or something.
Do you see a bright explosion? Then you're a good organizer and a perfect leader. You like to be in charge, and you aren't afraid to face the music. If this drawing looks like 2 hands to you, you must be interested in understanding and helping people. You are a great listener who truly cares about the problems of others. 4. What do you see first? What do you see riddles are fun, aren't they? Short, simple, and they give accurate psychological portraits. So let's do another one.
Okay.
I see 3 bears and then
If this looks like a village of huts, birds, and trees to you, you value traditions and prefer a simple and peaceful style of life. If you saw no village but an elephant at first glance, you are respectful to others, loyal to your friends, and a great listener.
Again,
You are
where's the
loving,
elephant?
caring, and thoughtful. And that's why so many people love you. 5. What do you see first? Another riddle of this
Mr.
kind.
Moon.
So, what do you see first?
Man
It's
bird.
only a face to you.
I see 2 bears.
You're definitely sensitive and kind, which is why you like to avoid conflicts. You have truly phenomenal intuition, and this helps you out in so many situations. If it's 2 birds that you see first, you are a warm-hearted and fun-loving individual. You have great people skills, and you're a great friend and good listener. You most likely have a job that involves dealing with other people. If you're still deciding which career path to choose, that would be your best choice. 6. Find the odd one out. Time for a colorful break from psychology.
The dog.
No hidden meanings here, but
The
there's
the
a
dog
formula to figure
inside.
the odd one out. You've got 5
The
seconds
dog.
for the task.
Yeah, for this one, the
Yes.
And done. So the creature that doesn't belong here is a puppy. You don't eat those, right? But I personally wouldn't mind a bite of everything else I
yeah.
see.
That's cannibalism.
7. Can you spot the hidden animal? Oh my! It must
An
be a
owl.
chameleon out there because it's so well hidden between the rocks.
An
I'll
owl.
give you 5 seconds to figure it
An
out.
owl. Yeah. Good back. Good back.
I don't know what they mean by rocks. That's clearly a tree.
An owl.
Are you ready to be amazed? It's Harry Potter's best friend. No, not Ron Weasley. The other one.
It's a cat. It's a cat.
Where was it?
8.
Owl.
Oh, this is a leaf-tailed gecko. I love these
Looks
things.
like a bunch
It's
of
a
autumn leaves.
chameleon. Lizard. Lizard.
Chameleon.
Lizard.
It's a leaf-tailed
Time
gecko
here.
to be very specific.
Time's up. Do you know the answer, fellow Brightsiders?
Chameleon.
It's a
Lizard.
chameleon. By the way, if you think chameleons actually
Yeah,
change their color
chameleon.
to hide from predators, they do it to communicate with others of their kind and to regulate their body temperature. As it becomes lighter, a chameleon cools down since it reflects the sun's rays more efficiently. Going darker has the opposite effect. And now that our biology quiz is over, let's move over to the next test. 9.
Yeah.
Find the odd one out. Look at all the G's out there. Let me try to read it.
P. There's a P inside.
Okay, enough of that. Something's telling me
P.
this is nothing like the others. Can you find it in 5 seconds? So, Eagle Eyes, did you spot the odd one out here? It's a P, right there. 10. What do you see first? Ready to learn some more truths about yourself? The final What Do You
Yeah.
See First?
I see an Eiffel Tower and Spider-Man.
You're impatient.
Yes, the Eiffel
You
Tower.
love a new experience. You only live once could be your bumper sticker.
Eyes. Eyes of
Did you enjoy it?
Spider-Man.
Did you see Spider-Man in the picture? That means
Yes.
you're traditional, stable, and calm. You don't like to take unnecessary risks. In fact, any risks make you feel uncomfortable.
Nope. Where is Gia?
Oh.
Oh.
Your life.
It's a brass. You did smile at me. It's a brass.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, I believe you are, except for one last thing. And do you have any questions for me, by the way? Questions? No questions? So critical thinking today, I decided to put a thing up for you all to actually do critical thinking. All right?
Oh,
Arian, what were you saying?
I just want to go eat breakfast.
Go get your breakfast.
All right, let's do this one.
Go get your breakfast. All right, so there's the link. I can copy it and try to paste it here if I'm doing this right. My daughter's not here to help me with this. All right, and I am going to start the game. That's all right.
Do we go into the link?
Huh?
Do we go inside the link?
Yeah, you can click the link. Or you can do the one up there. So I see David. Someone says hello. The code is right there. You can join late. So once I started, you only have 8, like 7, 8. All right, there you go. And it's a countdown.
Get ready to lose, Ari.
How long do you think it's gonna take for everyone to join? Because
All right, so you have the leaderboard.
don't. Can you? Never mind.
You can join late. David is in first. Who's the last airbender?
Me, pretty obviously.
The code is 9985499. It's right there on the thing.
What is this typing answer? The question says that can heavy social media usage cause?
I haven't done this before, so I'm kind of confused.
You want us to type out? You want us to type out all of
Yes, not
sleep?
read that question. I had to do it a little bit different this time.
You want us to type out all of sleep deprivation and addiction and social
You
deprivation
only
and
had to
attention
name a
fragmentation?
few of them, not all of them. Just a few of them. I appreciate the fact that you remember that. Who's hello? Robin, what happened?
Madam.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
What's up, Prince?
Please, they are saying that she select a password, and I don't
You
know
don't
the
need a
password.
password. You can skip it.
So, what should I choose?
You don't need a password. If it asks you
So,
for a code, you put the code in, but you don't need a password.
so we have more option over here.
It says welcome hacker. New user detected. Welcome to terminal hacking.
Don't say your password out loud. If we can even get past anything, because I don't see us getting past.
So I don't know what to do at all.
Finally.
Vanessa, are you in third place? Oh, so Arian got knocked off this time.
Yeah, because I keep on getting the questions. I'm just typing. It's literally just giving me the questions where you have to type the answer. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
So the way I did this time, the one last time you just had to click it and I gave you multiple options. This one, I want you to regurgitate the information that you have taken in and put the answers in yourself. So if you
That's
ask me
literally-
questions about boundaries, there are certain things I'm looking for boundaries.
Regurgitation is literally the worst part about school. It's how you apply the information.
It's true how you apply the information. So it's not exactly, I get what you mean. Maybe next time I'll find another way to do it. But I wanted to try something this time. But you're in fifth place though.
Yeah,
It's
and I
not
still
last
have
place.
0. That's not the best. That's not the best thing in the world if you're at 0 and you have.
And Taddy are going at it. I don't know if that's the Taddy people or if that's Taddy people. All right, we have 2 minutes left.
When it says enter nickname, should I put it in like a nickname or do I put it in like a code or something?
You put whatever you want your name to be on here.
Am I even supposed to?
Who's hello? Who's the one with the is that a dog? Oh, look at David. Ariane, David said you were going down and he meant it.
Yeah, because I keep on getting the same questions over and over again.
Oh, there are only 10 questions, by the way.
How many did you make multiple choice?
I didn't make that many multiple choice. Maybe 2 or 3.
That's
I know. I was tired when I was doing this.
yeah,
I
don't
didn't
worry
want to
about
do all
it.
that. The code is 9985499.
There's also a thing in chat.
All right, we have less than a minute to go.
How do I get out of the thing that says please select the password?
Robin, I am the wrong person to ask. I don't play Bookit. I did not create Bookit. My daughter helped me create this. I don't do these type of games. I do like word games, word puzzles, optical illusion stuff. That's my thing. So, oh, look at that.
Time is literally one. Oh my god.
20 seconds. David is so. Oh, Ariane, you figured it out? David, hurry up. Ariane is trying to take over. Nope. I don't know who VR is. VR knocked him to 3rd place. All right. Final standing. Ariane in 3rd.
Oh my god.
VR. Who's VR?
Get out.
Who is VR?
I literally had to rejoin.
I'm VR.
I got kicked out of the meeting.
Oh, Hadassah, you're VR? Oh,
I was also hello and H something.
How many
HGH.
different people were you on this thing?
Well, because I kept having to go back to the thing, it like restarted what I did. So I had to restart like 3 times.
Yeah, I also had to restart a couple times.
Okay. David, congratulations. You spoke it and you have done it. You did knock Ariane off. You and Hadassah knocked him out.
Can you please change the format next time? That'd be nice.
Next time, if I do book it again, I'll try to do some more multiple stuff to see how you can apply it. All right, Uncle, do you all have any questions for me before I hand this over to Tony? Oh, when is that supposed to be anyway? Oh, that's not next week. Next week I'll be in Savannah, Georgia. Questions? Did you understand boundaries and that critical thinking? You have to be doing puzzles. You have to put yourself in situations and try to problem solve it. Critical thinking is your ability to see the whole picture. It's a puzzle. Try to get all the pieces together in your head and put them together. So even if you don't have all the pieces, somewhere in there, you know that you're missing this and you can pull it from here and there and put it together. All right. So the more you do puzzles, the more you're reading, the more you are in situations where you have to find solutions for stuff. Sports is a great way because you're playing competitively with another team and you have to try to get around them. So that's a good way. Chess is great. So if you're into chess, it's a mind thing. I would say you all should learn how to play chess. All right, no problem, Ariana. I'll talk to you later. Chess would be a great way for you all to start learning to gain some of those critical things. I think it's called dominoes or whatever in Ghana they play, the dummy, the board. Ludo is great. My mom is horrible.
I played Ludo. I've played Ludo before. It's really fun.
Yeah. So it's a great way because you're thinking, you're trying to outmove your opponent. So some of these games, these old school games that we had, those were helping us with critical thinking. We've gotten away from that. Don't do too much of the gaming stuff because you can always get a code. that helps somewhat, but not as much as if they put you in the situation, because some of these situations you have in gaming are not real life type situations. So when you have to come back to real life, it kind of makes it hard for you to know how to operate. Do you have any questions, concerns? Did this help? Did it not help? Speak now or forever hold your peace. You have about 3 minutes, and I hand this over to Tony.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Is Kim?
Okay, so, sorry, we're here. So one person, yeah. I'm here. Please. Hi.
Oh, Prince Majani, why?
Oh. Yeah. It was great. One of the students want to tell the whole the entire group what he or she has learned today. Hello, come here. Don't want to sleep. Come on, stand there. So that's so mention your name again. Sylvester.
Yes.
All right, how are you?
I'm good.
Right. Tell us what you learned. Louder. Louder.
My name is Esol, and I've learned about bound, time bound, physical bound, material, and the rest. Please be thank you. Your class was great, and keep it up. Thanks.
Yes. Any other person? Tell us. All right. Who is speaking again? All right. If there's no one, I think we can continue.
That was pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
God bless you.
Is it time to leave? Bye. But it's
Bye-bye,
too late
Roblox
for
boy.
breakfast. It's too late for breakfast. It's 12 o'clock.
It was a winning.
Bye.